Greetings, peace be with you. So in this video, you are going to discover how to change your self-image and stop caring what other people think about you. Okay, understand that your self-image is like a subconscious thermostat that determines what you get in life, what you are worthy of life, what you subconsciously believe you are deserving of your life. And by the end of this video, you will discover how to engineer this self-image into the reflection of what you intend to create, how to show up as the most capable version of yourself rather than getting caught up in other people's opinions of you that hold so many of us back from doing the things that we know we are here to do. Okay, now Joseph Campbell has a great quote on this, a question really, right? And he's like, who am I? Am I the bulb that carries the light? Or am I the light of which the bulb is a container? What's your answer to that, right? Are you the light or are you the bulb? Because I remember at one point I thought I was completely the bulb. I thought I was my body. I thought I was my thoughts. And then I had my spiritual awakening and I thought, I'm not my body. I'm not my thoughts. I am just this pure awareness, this consciousness. But the reality is that you are both of them, right? You are a human being. Human on the level of form, bound in time, on the level of material matter in this physical world. Being on the level of formlessness, of timelessness, of pure awareness, of pure consciousness. And so many of us either get trapped in one or the other, but the reality is that you are both. You are the light and you are the bulb in this physical dimension, right? So it's about understanding that who you really are is both of these things. And the body, like I mentioned in a previous video, is the temple of the light, of the soul, of the higher awareness. And when we can cultivate our body and our human role is optimized as well, right? Because we are all here to play a role. What is that role? And are you playing that role well? Because if we get caught up in either one of these, then we discount them for the expense of the other. If I think I'm only a human, then I discount myself to the metaphysical spiritual reality that underlies it. If I think I'm only a being, if I think I'm only spiritual, then I discount all the necessities in this physical world. For example, finances, for example, health, for example, relationships. Those get discounted. And I believe that in order to truly live a fulfilled life, we have to maximize both of these aspects. Okay, so not getting caught up in the role, not getting caught up in the spirituality, but using both of them to emphasize who we really are and maximize our expression in this world, right? So the first question to ask really is, what does the best version of yourself look like? Okay, very important to ask this question and develop an awareness of what that ideal version actually looks like. Project into the future. The one thing that you have that no other organism has is your creative imagination, your ability to visualize into the future based on a certain thought stimulus, which is, what does the best version of me actually look like? How does he carry himself? What behaviors does he exhibit every single day? Really asking these questions and then living into that. Okay, loud tractor passing by. Now this is going to be uncomfortable once you get this vision. Okay, my best version of myself is waking up at a particular time. The best version of myself is eating particular foods. He's working out. He's reading books. He's not procrastinating, right? And it's important to then live into that and understand that this will be uncomfortable, okay, by its very definition. As we evolve our self-image by taking certain actions that are in alignment with that image, it will be so difficult. It will be so uncomfortable. But that is when you know you are growing. That is when you know you are letting go of this previous version of yourself. Like Lao Tzu said, right, in the Tao Te Ching, when I let go of who I am, I become who I can be, right? So important. And really getting clear on the behaviors, okay? Because another quote that comes to mind right now is that it is easier to act your way into a new way of thinking than it is to think your way into a new way of acting. Okay, your self-image and your behaviors have a bi-directional relationship. As you elevate the way that you see yourself, then you live into those behaviors. then those behaviors become a vote for the person that you're becoming, and it becomes a positive cycle. On the other end of the spectrum, it's like you might think that I want to be a certain person, but if you don't exhibit the behaviors that align with that type of person, then it will be the other way, because every behavior that you take is a vote for the person that you are becoming. Okay, so even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like going to the gym, especially when you don't feel like getting out of bed in the morning, especially when you don't feel like reading a book, is when you need to the most. And then when you do that, you're like, that's like me, right? You affirm it to yourself, that's like me to have done this activity. And slowly but surely you mold yourself, you mold your self-image, you evolve your self-identity into becoming the person that you know you are capable of being. But it starts with having a vision of what that version of yourself actually looks like. Okay, so important. Now, another metaphor that comes to mind is that of Michelangelo, right? He sculpted the statue of David, which is perhaps one of the most popular and iconic statues to this day, right? The statue of David and Goliath, right in the moment where he's about to throw that slingshot, whatever it is, right? That rocked on Goliath's head. And there's a quote from Michelangelo, and he says that, the marble was already there, right? The marble was already there. David was already there in the marble. I just had to let go, had to sculpt away at everything that was in the way, right? So really think about that. Like, the ideal image is already there, right? The best version of you is already there. Your high vibration is natural. But the question is, what is holding it down, right? A metaphor that I used before is like, you have this inflatable ball on the pool, you're pushing it down, you're pushing it down, you're pushing down the vibration. But as soon as you let go of everything that is pushing that ball down, as soon as you let go of everything that is holding your vibration down, the behaviors, the activities, the people, the information that you allow into your head, what is it that is not serving you in living up to this highest expression of yourself, right? So many times getting to that next level is about letting go more than it is about adding in, right? So what behaviors can you let go of that will allow you to live into this highest expression of yourself, okay? And the way to think about it is not like, I have to stop these behaviors, I can't do them anymore. If I do, I'm going to shame and guilt myself. But shifting into the perspective that I will let go of these behaviors because they are no longer an accurate representation of who I am. Okay, that's very different than, I need to stop, I need to resist, I can't do this anymore, I just can't do this. And then you end up creating so much resistance that you go down that path anyway, right? The more that you resist, the more that it will persist. But the more that you can just let go, because it's no longer an accurate representation of who you intend to be, the easier it will be. It will not be easy, but it will be easier than just resisting it all the time. Okay, what must you let go of? Like Michelangelo reminded, the ideal version of you is already there. The high vibration version of you is already there. What is it that you must let go of? Okay, important questions to consider over here. And understand that the glitches are part of the process, right? We think that, I'm going to do these habits, I'm going to do them every single day, and no matter what, I'm going to stick to them. And then there's a glitch whereby we fall off, whereby we relapse, whereby we get off track. And that is really the moment of critical importance, because that can go one of two ways. One way, it's like, I fell off, so might as well fall even more off, right? Busted a nut, might as well bust 10 more, right? I took this bite of sugar, might as well just eat sugar, might as well eat this whole tub, right? I took this one bite of ice cream, might as well finish this whole tub, right? Or it can be where you catch yourself in that moment and you bring yourself on track, right? A quote that comes to mind is from Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, who said that when force of circumstance upsets your equanimity, lose no time in recovering your self-control, and do not remain out of tune longer than you can help. Habitual recurrence to the harmony strengthens your mastery over it. End quote. And this is a quote that I've shared again and again. It's about strengthening your mastery over your equanimity. When you fall off, when the glitch comes on, right? It's inevitable that the glitch will happen. It's inevitable. If you can expect it, then you're much more likely to bring your attention back to what you know is serving you and not fall off all the way back, right? The analogy of the two arrows. It's not the first arrow that gets you. It's the second arrow that actually holds you back, that actually kills you, right? It's not the first point of falling off. It's the decision on how you decide. It's how you respond to that first arrow that makes all the difference, okay? And really, it's about accepting the journey of constant and never-ending improvement. Okay, to end on a Joseph Campbell idea as well, he said that a good life is one hero's journey after another. Every devil that you conquer will get you to the next level, but the next level will have its own devil to conquer, right? And on it goes, because every mountain peak that you summit will reveal you to an entirely new horizon, to an entirely new landscape, and it's just on and on and on that it goes, right? Now, where does it come into the factor of not caring what people think? Because it's something that held me back for so long, from making YouTube videos, from sharing my truth, from getting my stuff out there, from expressing myself honestly. Well, the reality is that once you engage in this process of self-improvement, of self-development, of investing in your evolution, the time, the energy, the resources to get to that next level, once you start doing that is when you start developing self-worth. And self-worth really comes when you are more invested in your opinion of you than you are in other opinions of you. Okay, real confidence is not about, oh, everything's going to be all good, everything's all right, I'm going to figure everything out. Real confidence is that even if it does not work out, I'm all good, right? Being more invested in yourself. So it's not so much like stop caring what other people think, I'm just going to walk around naked on the street. It's about, I know my worth, I know my center, I know who I am, because I live in alignment with my values. I make the decisions, I exhibit the behaviors that allow me to show up in that vein as well. And therefore, if someone does not approve of that, that's their problem. It's not my problem, right? Because I noticed that when my center was not in me, when my center was based on external expectations, when my center was based on what he thought of me, what she thought of me, then I feel good. If someone criticized me, I feel bad, right? But that is, again, a shaky foundation, because other people's opinions you are not in control of, right? The only thing you're in control of is your thoughts, your behaviors, your feelings to some extent. And the more that you can focus on that, the more that you will stop caring what other people think about you as well. Okay, so that's really what it comes down to. Okay, changing your subconscious thermostat, what you believe you are worthy of, by changing your behaviors. Like I said, it's easier to act your way into a new way of thinking than it is to think your way into a new way of acting. I think about this quote again and again and again. I share it with everyone because it's just that critical to making that transformation in your life. Okay, so really, once you change your self-image is when you change your reality, right? When you elevate your personality is when you elevate your personal reality, as Dr. Joe Dispenza would say, right? Life is a reflection of who you are. When you can change the image rather than trying to change the reflection, that is when you create true transformation rather than chasing shadows and mirrors, right? So with that, I'll conclude this video. I hope that you take action on this. Okay, leave a comment below right now saying what's the one thing they're going to start doing more consistently, and what's one thing that you must let go of in order to live into the expression of your highest version. Okay, one thing that you're going to start doing more consistently and one thing that you will let go of. Okay, leave a comment below. I love hearing from you, and I will leave you in the peace and power of the one infinite creator. Much love to you, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, subscribe if you have not already. Do it now.